I say all the time, in today's day and age, you shouldn't be getting married until you're at least 35.
That was my next question for you. As a man, what age should you consider getting married?
So I have, this is my thing that I tell guys. I think 35 years old, had slept with at least 50 women, 100K per year, you're in shape, and you got 6 months to 1 year of savings.
All right, done. I got to get married. I've done all that. That's easy.
Here's the Republic right there. So that is a recipe for a terrible marriage, by the way, guys. Waiting until you're 35 and have slept with 50 women, that is a terrible recipe for marriage by every available data point. It turns out that you are much better in terms of getting married if you get married younger, if you do not have a wide variety of sexual partners. All the stuff about, being in shape and having money and all the rest, you should try to do that, generally speaking. But this notion that you wait until you're 35, you've already made a bevy of mistakes that have shaped your character and made you much more rigid as a person, and that you should have had a basis of comparison in terms of sex of dozens and dozens and dozens of women. No, the data do not support this, and it's stupid.
Right, fellas, it happens to us. Oh, god damn it. Woo-wee. I got played. If you want to hear how, stick tuned. Stay tuned, fam. Stay tuned. I know you got low attention spans. I got to do better than keeping y'all here for the first 15 seconds. What you want me to do? Just da. All right. So anyway, the people in the truck, all of them were laughing. I don't know, in the last 2 weeks to a month, I've went on about 9-10 dates with 6 different women. 3 of them were new encounters. 3 of them were previous encounters, women I've been seeing for a while. So the importance of you seeing women and getting to know them and being able to interpret their, what do you want to call it, fuckery, mischief, intrigue, lack of divulsion of information, it plays a part. It'll make you a better man in a couple of ways. You don't even have to really fuck them, but that's really where you get the most critical information. A lot of times when I'm getting to know a woman, if I really want to know something, or if I want to make a certain progression in the relationship, say I want to ask for a threesome or some shit, I do it during sex. Honestly, you have to master sex in this day and age, because even your inexperienced women that have only been with a couple of guys have slept with guys like me. That's your competition. Shit, one of the girls I was talking to, dog, she was fucking 2 of the Tennessee Titans, the football players. So she's fucking me, and I'm keeping up with these dudes, and they're world-class athletes. So you see what I'm saying? That's literally the place we live in. She might have a low body count, but it's not even about it. I would rather, say for this example, I'd rather have a girl with a body count of 50. Each one of those dudes, his pecker is 2 inches, than a girl with a body count of 2, but those dudes both have fucking 12-inch long. Because what the fuck are you gonna do with that? You get me, fam? Critical information. You gotta, as a man, you have to be better at deciphering critical information. So let me tell you about the dates, the women, and how they went. All right, so there was a 20-year-old who was very hot. She works at a nice place. So even though she might not stay in my rotation, she might get some flirtation, because I'm going to get a discount. She works at a spa, y'all. So you got the 20-year-old. Then you have, I should just go in order by their age. Okay, you got the 20-year-old. Then you have the 27 or 28-year-old. She only got 1 date. All these women except her got 1 date. We got multiple dates. The 28-year-old got 1 date, and everybody else got multiple. So then you got the 30-year-old, 33 or 34-year-old. What year is it? It's 33. She's 33. She was born in 90. Then you got the 41-year-old. Oh, and another 20-year-old. There we go. So here's how it goes. I want to focus on the key points. So let me see. 20-year-old, grade A bullshitter. She's the one to fuck me over. She didn't really do anything to me. She was just running game, and her game didn't work because, you can't bullshit a bullshitter. So that's what happened with that. I'll go into it later. The first 28-year-old, met her on a Christian dating site, and it was kind of obvious she had just got ran through really young and was now all of a sudden trying to settle down. And I really just didn't kill the interview vibe because I didn't feel like it. She was asking all these questions and I could have curved them. And honestly, no offense to her, she was a butterface. And it wasn't even like she couldn't have been a butterface, because she had a butterface, for those that don't know, is she's fine everything but her face. Neck down, she could come around. But I didn't like the way she did her makeup. She could take some critique on that, but she probably wouldn't. Did it like how if you date a lot of Southern white girls, they you ever look at their Christmas photos? They do a 16-hour photo shoot to put on makeup and just take pictures in their pajamas. I don't like that shit. But that's actually how you know their interest on the date. She actually messaged me first on the app. So she was pretty decently high interest, but she was trying to do some shit that I wasn't gonna fold on. So I just was really just played my cards. You know what? I'm just gonna be a little bit out there, and if she's still digging me, fuck it, we can rock. But she don't put up with some bullshit off rip, I'm not gonna go for it. And she just needed braces, bro, just braces. And I'm like, I could give you some dental insurance if we dated, but I could take you to Cuba every couple of months or Colombia. We can just get your braces tightened every 3 months. But no, she wasn't gonna stay. So that was just one date. Other 28-year-old, I met her on a date a couple years ago with the 30-year-old. And I had the 30-year-old add her on Facebook back then. I was like, we're just gonna leave this one in the reserve tank, you know, extra case of ammo on your hip. And yeah, that went down. So I'm not gonna keep going too deep in that, but basically got a little three-way thing going on with her. Let me elaborate on that, y'all. Especially in the South, but you'll get this all across the world. You get these touch-starved bisexuals, and what do I mean by that? A lot of women are bi. I don't think straight women exist. They clearly don't, bro. Because look, women are always in some form of the menstrual cycle. There's 4 phases to the menstrual cycle. I won't go over them right now, but there's 4 phases, and they vary in hormone levels, energy levels, desires, intensity, mood, and that's what really changes a woman's sexuality. You can have, if you ever hung out with women long enough, your mom, sister, girlfriends, classmates, they will eventually say something that sounds incredibly homo, and they're doing it because that's how they feel at that period of time. So I don't think straight women exist. But then you get these women that have known they're bi, like since they were like 3 or 4, and they just suppress it. Maybe they come from a really religious family, they're afraid of persecution, or there's just not girls their type around them. And so what happens is, you saw this a lot during COVID, during the 2020. I think I had a threesome almost every week in 2020. I'm not bullshitting. There's 52 weeks in a year. I probably had like 39 or 43 from touch-starved bisexuals. And it's like literally all you got to do is have one bisexual chick with you that likes having threesomes. And since I had a traveling business and I was all over the country during 2020, every time I got pulled over, I had my business license, and the officer would be like, hey, why are you driving? The country's locked down. I was like, hey, I run my own business. It's a copy of my license. Here's a letter from the governor of Tennessee. I have to be working. So I did that, use that to my advantage. And every time we were going, we would just meet a chick and be like, yeah. And seriously, so touch-starved bisexuals is a thing where the women miss female companionship and they crave it so bad. Imagine like you haven't went on a date with a girl in months and you just got out of jail. You'll just explode when you get next to a woman. That's how touch-starved bisexuals are. Because like as a woman, you can always get affection and companionship from a man at any given time, no matter how bad you are. But from another woman, it's different. And you'll see this when you see a lot of lesbian women. Some women are very decisive in their relationship, and it's obvious who's running it. And then a lot of lesbian relationships, it's very fluid. It depends on the mood, the vibe, what's going on. So one of the 28-year-olds, she's obviously to me a touch-starved bisexual. She comes from a very conservative family, and she's just she is all over the girl that I'm with. And like it's like if we're all in the room doing stuff, it's like almost like I'm not even there, and I'm like, hey, I'm cool with that. And then 30-year-old's amazing. Nothing to say about that. We just got this vibe. It's gonna go, feels like forever. Then you got the 34-year-old, almost like the 30-year-old. He has a lot of trouble being vulnerable. Or not vulnerable, just like honest and having like deep conversations with herself. So like a part of me and my manhood is I help her with those things. Because like some women actually really value you giving them things that can't be monetarily bought. Or if they can, they're really expensive. Like spiritual healing, coaching, you know. I understand a lot of these women better than they understand themselves. Like, I know I can not see a chick in a minute and tell by the way she did her makeup that she's on her period that day. And she's like, how did you know? Or I just know their mannerisms, and when they're lying and they have a tell. You know, there's this investigation technique that the police use that has been thrown out, but they still use it because it works on people that don't have a good control of their micro reactions. It's where, you know, you go into interrogation and the police ask you a simple question, like ask you your name, your birthday, stuff that they know you know, and they measure your micro reactions to what they said, and then they'll ask you something that they're accusing you of that they have no evidence of, and then they'll judge by your micro reactions. Oh, he's most likely he's lying. Like if I ask you what's your name, and you know, every time I ask you an obvious question, your left eye wobbles a little bit and you can't control that. And then I ask you, hey, did you kill Bertha? And your left eye doesn't wobble, I'm gonna think that you're lying. But that actually works on a lot of women, guys. So just a little thing. It's even worse when like you can tell them that you're doing that and they still can't fight it. It's kind of cool. That was her. 41-year-old, very intelligent lady. She's a bibliophile, not to be confused with a pedophile. A bibliophile is a person that loves books. So we had a hoot talking about literature and reading and things like that. Okay, so let me get into where the drama happened. This is where you came, the juicy part. I meet the 20-year-old at this crappy dive bar. You know, it's not a bad place, it's not the greatest. It's a place I go because I'm a regular. Sometimes I go intermittently, but I'm well known. I can get free stuff. I've always tipped well every time I go. And it's just a place that works in my favor. So it's old reliable. It's like a good baseball bat that won't get you a home run, but it'll definitely get you to first base. So that's where I went. That's where I met her. And she was chilling with some other girls that night. And I just went up, introduced myself, ended up sitting with them. And the other two girls left me and her, which is like a clear sign that these girls are like passing you the torch. They want you to interact with their friend. So I did it, and throughout the night, we ended up chilling for like 2-3 hours, and she's just getting blown up by all these different dudes. It's like, oh wait, my ex-boyfriend's calling me, or my coworker's calling me, or this or that. And I'm just taking note of it. Now, I'm just meeting this woman, so I didn't set the grounds of like, yo, if we're gonna be spending time together, I want your undivided attention, because I just met you. If it was like a date where we agreed, then yeah, yo, you get the fuck off your phone. So I just let it happen, so, because that's the real her is in that fucking phone. The person that she's showing you, that's just a representative. The real bitch is in that fucking phone on Twitter, snapping in the DMs. You heard me? So I'm taking all this in, and she's revealing stuff about herself. She doesn't realize it. And then before I had gone over to the table, her and the other girls were talking about all this other shit. And this chick had a fucking threesome, bro. And now the girl got a threesome with 2 dudes. She doesn't shoot. She had been a little tipsy. I guess some other adult that was not me had given her some beverage that she should not have had. So she was saying things that she didn't want to tell her, but she wouldn't normally say, I would guess. And so I walk her to her car, she goes home, we set up a date. The date's coming to my house and watching some fucking movies. All right, y'all, for those of you that don't know, I've owned a reselling business for like 7-8 years, selling movies, video games, DVDs, and books. So out of all my possessions, all the memorabilia, so books, CDs, comic books, tapes, all that stuff, that's my most expensive stuff. If you had to sell all of my stuff and you weren't counting my studio equipment and my cameras and stuff, you'd probably make $10,000 off of selling all the nerd culture stuff to have. So I got great movie taste. And we're sitting there watching Scary Movie 4, and I'm, you know, making a move, making a pass. She gets a little resistance, like, no, we're not there yet. Like, cool, that's fine, whatever. But then keeps going, and she's like, oh, no. And I'm like, what? Like, hey, my neighbor's here. So I'm like, hey, what the fuck you mean? And I wasn't like, what the fuck you mean? In my head, I was like that, but I was just playing it cool, because she was trying to be like, oh, I'm not that type of girl. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, not that type of girl, bitch. You came over my house on the first day. What the fuck? You think I'm stupid or some shit? But see, guys, if you were a regular guy and you didn't have experience with women, you would fall for that bullshit. I know what the fuck is happening. There's probably 2 dudes she's fucking. One of them she really likes. The other one's just kind of there, getting the sloppy seconds. And then she has all of these other dudes just giving her free attention, free validation, all this shit. I'm not gonna be one of those fucking dudes. Throughout the date, she's trying to run this game on me. I'm like, you know what? Let's just call it a night. I got work to do. Let me walk you to your car. Text me when you get home. And here comes the whole magician out of her. I'm walking to the car. She's like, oh, I hope you're not mad. It's just, I'm like, no, shawty, everything's cool and copacetic. It's all right. It's okay. I'm about to call somebody else and get my meat smoked. So we worked through it. There's a lot of people outside today, y'all. We worked through it. I don't hit this chick up for like a good 2 weeks. We set up another date. I take her to this nice lake, and it's private. There's old dirty benches, just old hidden lake, y'all. Nice little spot. Bugs was tearing my ass up though. I'm not gonna lie, the mosquitoes and shit. So I'm like, okay, I'm dealing with all these other girls. I got a kiss or something on every other date I had except with you. But I'm like, you're really hot and young, so I might play the game a little bit differently, which I shouldn't have done, guys. But I do it so I can make content and talk about it. You don't do this shit, okay? Do as I say, not as I do. Actually, do most of what I do and all of what I say. So anyway, she's hot, bro. And she lost like another 10 pounds. And I'm like, she's already pretty fit and healthy. She's wearing this yellow sundress. I'm feeling on the thighs, working it up. And here we go with all the BS. Every fucking girl I'm talking to swears I'm the only dude that they're interested in. And I'm like, stop the cab. Stop the cab. She's like, here. She's really trying to prove herself because like last date, I just ego checked her by just like saying, hey, yo, get out of my spot. So now this time, she's like showing me more affection. She's touching me a little bit more. I'm like, cool, but okay. Dick ain't gonna suck itself, all right? So I'm like, I mean, it's long enough, but I'm not about to do that. That's gay. Is it gay to suck your own dick, y'all? So I'm making my moves. I see a bruise, bro. I see a hickey right here, right on the hip. And this is a curvaceous woman, yo. Right here, she got a hickey. She's like, oh, that's a bruise. I bruise easily. I'm like, a bruise, shawty? What you carrying, a Glock 30? Like, what the fuck you got a bruise right there on your hip for? And it's shaped like a mouth. Like, what, damn, Dracula jump you or some shit? She's like, no, that's not from sex. I'm like, look, you don't got a lot of me. I'm not stupid. Like, please stop lying. She's like, no, I promise. I'm like, shawty, that is clearly where somebody's been sucking on your inner thigh. Will you please stop lying to me? And she just wouldn't concede. You know, a lot of women, because a lot of being a woman is being a little deceitful or omitful and not saying everything. And it's unfortunate, but if you talk and date a lot of women, you'll know that they don't have real, like, true friendships, even with their girlfriends, like lifelong girlfriends. Like, you have no idea how many girls I've met that are bi or have a man that they don't tell their girlfriends about, or they don't tell their friends shit. You know, elite guys, a lot of us just don't have friends, and a lot of girls just have a bunch of fake ass friendships. And in a way they have to, and it's so unfortunate. But then they don't ever escape the dishonest part. And this is the thing about being honest and being blunt. It is a skill, and everybody says they like it. Look, I was born blunt. I was talking blunt. It's not fun. Being blunt is like operating a tank. You don't just go straight through the battlefield, run over your soldiers, and just blow down every fucking building you see. No. You got to learn the maneuvers. You have to hit. Every hit you're gonna do is gonna be hard. You don't just get on the gun and go. No. There's still a grace and a style of tactical speaking, even when you're being blunt and honest, and it may be perceived as harsh. But people don't get that, so they don't really know. There's not a lot of opportunity to grow in that way. And I'm lucky enough to have that ability to help bring that out in people and give it to the world. But yeah, anyway, that was pretty much a date, bro. I was like, look, I said one final shit test, right? She showed me her phone, and then I didn't ask. She was like, you're the only guy I'm talking to. I was like, no, I'm not. And she was like, yeah, look, you can go through my phone. I'm like, look, whenever girls volunteer for you to go through their phone, it's usually a trick, and they think you're stupid. And I'm like, wow, you're used to talking to stupid people, aren't you? Because sometimes some people are actually smart, but they're so used to talking to dumb people that they talk to everybody like they're dumb. Like my mom used to do that with me and my brother. Like my brother would be pretty dumb, and she would talk to him and then talk to me the same way. I'm like, Mama, I'm not him. I'm not stupid. Can you please like talk to me with some respect? And she's like, I'm sorry, son. So she goes through her phone, and it's like out of 6 contacts, 6 first text messages. It's her mom, her brother, her coworker, who's a dude, me, a random number that's texting her, and her ex-boyfriend who is her roommate. So I'm like, okay, out of 6 people, you got me, your coworker who wants to fuck, your ex-boyfriend, and some random number that you just decided to respond to. So out of 6 people, 4 of them would fuck you, and you're trying to tell me that you're just this innocent girl that doesn't do all this, and you don't remember that you told me you had a train written on you. No, get the fuck out of here, bro. Now look, fellas, if I didn't have all this elegance and shit going for me, and I would just believe all the shit that women would tell me, I would have fell for the rope-a-dope. Probably would have talked to this chick for another 2 months before getting a box, while there's some dude that's just been plowing her out the whole fucking time. And then she might leave him for a dude me because I have more potential. I'm the best man she ever met. But still, fellas, it's not worth the lemons ain't worth the squeeze. And I'm not about to say please. I'm not gonna beg you. I'm not gonna do this and do that. No, fuck that. So, what do we learn? Where we're gonna go with this information? How can we be better? You know, let's have a discussion in the comment section. Tell me what you want to see more of. Like the video, comment, share, subscribe. Peace.